If people are thinking they're refugees, or maybe they come from a background that is not financially stable, that shouldn't stop them from going high, dreaming bigger,
Assalamualaikum, welcome to InspireTalks. My name is Amiruddin and I will be your host for today. InspireTalks is a podcast series produced to inspire and motivate our Ahmadi members and especially the youth to pursue education, broaden their knowledge, and strive towards academic and professional excellence. And for today, I would like to introduce our guest for today. His name is Raheel Ahmad. He is 21 years old, originally from Pakistan, and he is registered with UNHCR. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
So Raheel Sahab, maybe you can tell a bit about yourself.
Okay, first of all, Segala for having me here today. As you mentioned earlier, my name is Raheel Ahmad. I was born in Pakistan. I migrated to Malaysia in 2017 with my family. I think the reason of migration was mainly due to the persecution that our community, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, faces in Pakistan. So the life for Ahmadis in Pakistan has been made very hard. In Pakistan, due to the persecution, my uncle was killed. Some of my family members were jailed, including my grandfather. And while living there, myself and my brother, we were bullied and all that. And that's why our parents decided that, it is not an option for us to live in Pakistan. And therefore, we migrated to Malaysia. We arrived here in 2017.
So you mentioned about migrating from Pakistan to Malaysia. What is it like for you and your family, let's say for the first year? How is it like living here, living daily to daily basis here in Malaysia?
I think it was quite a culture shock, first of all. There were a few difficulties as well, especially the language. That is the main barrier that I think everyone who is new faces. I think one of the main things that I was very young. One of the main things that my mom tells me that she was worried about was to continue my education, because I did my primary education in Pakistan. Now I had to continue my secondary education. So I think one of the main obstacles or one of the main worries that my parents had was my education. So yeah, these are the things.
So how old are you when you start moving to Malaysia?
I had just done 13 when I came to Malaysia.
So
yes.
prior that you were studying at Pakistan last time, and then here you need to find a place to study. So let's say you and your family, how do you get a school here? Because you mentioned that is the language barrier is very challenging for you, the culture shock that you'll be having, and then also you said you're bullied with your brother here, and then so how do you find yourself a school here?
I think initially for the first 6 months when I was here, I didn't go to school. My mom, she heard about a school. It's called Dignity for Children Foundation. It's a non-profit that educates refugees as well as any Malaysians who are facing poverty. So that was the school that we heard about from other community members, and then we applied for admission over there. In Malaysia, I think some of people might be wondering why we can't go to school, because Malaysia does not recognize refugees as legal people.
Yes.
That's why we can't go to any public school.
Yeah.
Or even if you want to apply to private schools, you need to have a passport or a visa. So my brother and I, we were fortunate to find a charity or an NGO which was educating refugees, and that is where I got my secondary education.
So you were studying at Dignity with your brother, is it?
Yes.
And then how much fees do you need to pay, or do you get any scholarship, or do you need to get aids from your family members during your schooling days?
For my secondary education in Dignity, Dignity is a charity that works in a sense that every child is paying a fee, but they for every refugee, let's say, they find a sponsor. So that means for my 4 years in Dignity, there was a person who was paying my fee, who was sponsoring my education. So in a sense, I didn't have to pay the whole fee. It was very much discounted, like maybe 50 ringgit or 60 ringgit.
So
like
you
that.
just go to the school and then the teachers mention that you're already being paid for the school.
We have to apply, and then they will try to find a sponsor, and we get some education.
So any requirement, let's say for the school, I mean, it's other than your UNHCR card. So any other requirements?
You do have to sit for an admission test, and you have to pass it, and that is how they decide whether or not you are eligible to go in a specific class.
And then after your 4 years, starting from 2017, right?
I started in 2018 in
2018,
Dignity.
because you said 6 months of no
About
schooling.
6 months, yeah.
And then after that, you pursue your studies, or you continue your studies?
Yes. I continued until 2021, end of 2021. I continued until that in Dignity. So it was 4 years, and then after that, I had done my IGCSE, which is the bare minimum for high school. And after that, I continued my A levels in Brickfield Asia College.
So let's talk about the Brickfields Asia College. So again, is there any fees requirement? So any other requirement also for the Brickfields College?
For Brickfield Asia College, I really want to mention about A levels. For, I would say, 90% or more refugees, they are not able to pursue after IGCSE. So when I was done with my IGCSEs, I went on a journey to find other schools who can offer me A levels. And Brickfield Asia College was the only college that accepted refugees or undocumented people who can study there and do A levels. I went around. I asked Sunway as well, college, whether they can accept UCSI, but all of them, they were like, no, you need to have a visa in order for you to be there. But anyways, Brickfield Asia College is the only college that will accept refugees, and they will subsidize the school fee as well. They will give a bursary. Okay, and then it was about 50% for me, and then the rest, it was some family savings or other family members who helped me with the fees.
So at that time when you're studying at the Brickfields College, were you doing a part-time job, or were you doing any jobs that help you to support your education?
At that time, I was only focused on studies, and one of the reasons I couldn't do any job was because I had to commute every day 2 hours to go there and 2 hours to come back. So every day 4 hours were gone in commute. But I feel that also motivated me in a sense that, okay, I'm not doing any job, I'm not paying for my education, so I have to work hard to pay back my parents in a sense, because they are doing a lot for me. I think although it was hard, but I feel it was one motivation for me as well.
So during your schooling days to your college days, from Dignity to Brickfield Asia College, so do you have any do you have any stuff that you do for the Jamaat? I mean, in order for you to keep socializing with the community?
I think Jamaat was a huge part for me during my school years. When I was in Dignity, I was a tifl when I started. I was in Atfal.
So tifl is a young kid, right?
Young kids. So at that time also I was volunteering as well in Jamaat, and then when I became a khadim, I had some position. I became a Nazim Atfal, and then when I started my A levels, Sadaf Saab Khudam appointed me as Mohtamim Atfal, and then as well as Mohtamid National, which was quite a lot of work. So what was my routine? Every day I have to wake up at 6. I would depart my house at 6 when I was doing my A levels. Until 4:30 we had our classes. After 4:30 until 9 p.m. on weekdays, I would stay in college, stay in library, and around 12 a.m. I would arrive back at my home. So this was my whole routine, and during the weekends it was totally Jamaat work, because that is how I balanced my studies. So weekdays only studies, weekends only Jamaat work.
So you mentioned about Jamaat position and works, and also your education stuff. How can how can what is the main point from Jamaat that helps you with your education?
There are a few points. One of the things that when I was doing this Jamaat work, I was a bit worried that my education will lag behind.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there was this one sentence that motivated me. I was reading a book, it's called Al-Wasiyat. I think many of our Ahmadi brothers will know. In that, the promised Messiah said that वो लोग जो तेरे पैरों हैं उन्हें मैं क़यामत तक ग़लबा दूंगा दूसरों पे. To translate it, it is a prophecy that Hazur said. Hazur said that those who follow you, I will give them victory until the day of judgment. And Hazur mentioned that this prophecy is not for me, this is for you guys, for the Jamaat. And I used to think, okay, I am the member of Jamaat of Promised Messiah. I'm doing Jamaat's work. So definitely I will get blessing from this prophecy. And I think that is what helped me, motivated me. And the second thing was writing letters to Hazur. I think I was very consistent in updating my academic progress to Hazur. Okay, Hazur, I have exam. Every day before I go for exam, when there was exam seasons, I will write a letter, Hazur, I have exam. Please pray for me. And when I get the result,
just write
I will write again. And Alhamdulillah, when I sent my results for IGCSE, Alhamdulillah, I had straight A stars. And Hazur replied me with his own signature. It was Hazur's letter that I am very happy that you get good marks. So I feel those letters, they also motivated me in a sense to continue.
So you're mentioning about your education already, from your secondary school to your A levels, and how you mentioned about Jamaat helping you with this, your education and your routine that makes your education better. So what do you think can be some advices to our young Khadim, young Atfal to continue the studies? What should they do, and what should they work on their Jamaat stuff?
I think there are a few advices. First of all, I feel that every youth should remember, and Hazur has mentioned it many times, that as an Ahmadi, you have to go to great heights. And I think I will guarantee from my side that I think I'm an example of that, in a sense that even though I was doing quite a lot of Jamaat work, but at the same time Allah Ta'ala was helping me to excel academically as well. So it's not that if you do Jamaat's work, Allah Ta'ala will leave you alone. Allah Ta'ala will help you, definitely. At the same time, I want to mention that when if you're doing Jamaat work and your studies are being affected in a sense, then it is okay for you to take a leave as well. And that is what Hazur has mentioned as well. So when I had completed my A levels, I was applying to universities. There was quite a lot of pressure because there was very less support available, and I had to do a lot of research and all that. So I took leave from Jamaat work, and I was feeling guilty in a sense. Did I do the right thing? So as Ahmadis, there's one thing we know: when we are confused, we write to Hazur.
Write to Hazur, dua.
So I wrote to Hazur, Hazur, we have done that, but we need your guidance. And Hazur said, you did the right thing. And Hazur wrote prayers, Allah Ta'ala will bless you. And Alhamdulillah, I got the admission to Oxford, which was a huge thing for me as well. So for Ahmadis, I would say the advice is, know that as Ahmadis, you have a bright future. You just have to work harder.
Just work hard and then pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And then you mentioned about your admission to Oxford. Can you tell me about the procedures, especially comes from a refugee that's staying in Malaysia?
I think I would just start from the beginning when I was doing a research for universities. I finished my A levels and I had quite good results. And I was thinking, okay, now I need to pursue my degree and all that. So first spot was of course Malaysia. I went to a lot of universities in Malaysia, University Malaya, Monash, Nottingham, UCSI and all that. But the main thing that they said was, we cannot accept refugees. You need to have a visa. And then it was at that point, I was like, okay, if I cannot study here, I must apply abroad.
Okay.
And that is when I started to write my applications, got a lot of recommendation letters from my teachers, and my main extracurricular activities were Jamaat activities, which were quite a strong point as well. And I really want to share one more thing, that when I think for me, a lot of people who will watch, they will be thinking, okay, he got into Oxford, but the back picture is I applied to 30 plus universities. Usually it is easy to get admission, but for me there were two obstacles: to get admission and to get a scholarship. I cannot afford
and also the visa as well.
also the visa. They were the third main obstacle. And alhamdulillah, even some places I got admission but no scholarship and all that. But at the end, alhamdulillah, Oxford accepted me, but they also gave me a scholarship which covers everything. And then with Hazur's prayer, I also got the visa. So the journey over here is, I think the resources are available. Everything that I did, everything that I applied for, using Google. You search for scholarships. There are many that you can find, but you have to be consistent. I got 10 rejections from universities. That didn't stop me from applying for the 11th one. No, you have to go ahead.
You mentioned 30.
Yeah, I applied to 30 plus universities, and alhamdulillah, I can share that if you have the merit, if you are working hard, currently it's not for me to show off, but I am a refugee. Currently, I hold offer from 3 of the top 10 universities in the world, and one of them is Oxford. So if people are thinking they're refugees, or maybe they come from a background that is not financially stable, that shouldn't stop them from going high, dreaming bigger, and yeah, you need to have the grit. You have to keep applying. Don't give up. You have to be stubborn.
Yeah.
You have to go.
I think
on
that's the good indicator on how to become success.
Yeah,
you need to become stubborn for yourself. You need to have a big the big dream for yourself. And then I just want to add on about your Oxford admission. And then because you mentioned that your main extracurricular activity comes from the Jamaat activities as well. So I want to know that how can the management or the Jamaat, especially comes from the Talim department, on help these potential students to become to have that dream to pursue their education better?
I think one of the things that Talim department can do, which I really felt when I was applying, was because I did not have any clear guideline. The guidelines that are available online as well, they are not for refugees, or in a sense not for refugees who are in Malaysia. There are refugees in Japan or UK, but they are legal over there.
Oh yeah.
But for Malaysia, we are not legal. So there is very less example or very less guidance available. So I feel, if we know that we have a lot of students who have good results, who we see have the potential that they can get scholarships as well, we should try to have workshops with them, or just a refresher course, or in a sense, just give them the guideline. Okay, career counseling. Okay, these are your paths available.
More to
what are the
programs.
opportunities? Yeah, what are the opportunities available for you? That is one of the things I feel that can make the journey much smoother for others who want to apply as well.
All right, I think we already touched your personal journey, educational journey, and your Jamaat activities, and also your Oxford admission. Alhamdulillah, that you have been a very good inspiration to most of our Kadims here. So, any last words of encouragement to our members here?
Again, there are 2 things which I have mentioned in earlier as well. First, work hard. Don't think that your status is going to stop you from achieving big things. That is, refugee is just a worldly label. That is not your identity. You have to, work hard, pursue your dreams. Second is to be connected with Jamaat, connected with Khilafat. And, I have mentioned again and again about writing letter to Hazur. If I go a bit more into depth about how much, letters can change. I would tell a bit of my own incident. What was my own experience was, you know, when I was applying to Oxford and also for my visa, my aunt, she was in Canada. She went to visit Huzur, and I specifically requested her that to say to Huzur that Huzur, my nephew is applying to Oxford and he's applying for scholarship. Please wait.
Is it during Jalsa or any?
No, it was in March.
Okay.
Just a casual mulaqat
Casual
with
mulaqat.
Huzur.
All right.
And Huzur said, Inshallah, Allah Ta'ala will bless him.
Okay.
So a few months later, I get the scholarship. And then after that, I applied for visa. Now, visa was the main worry because you don't get the visa. You're a refugee, you don't have proper documentation. And then I wrote a letter to Huzur as well. So I applied. You're supposed to get your reply within 3 weeks. It was already 4th week. And then the visa embassy, they emailed me that they emailed to request for a few documents, and then they said your decision is going to be delayed. And I read that when it is delayed, it can go up to 6 weeks, 2 months, you know. And then I wrote to Huzur again. You know, for us, the first thing is write to Huzur. I wrote to Huzur, Huzur, please pray. I have gotten this email, Huzur. Please pray that I get the decision within this week. And then Saturday, Sunday is a weekend. On Friday night, I was in the mosque actually doing some Jamaati work. I received an email, your visa application has been successful. It was the last day of the week, and it is just a blessing of Khilafat. I can't say anything more than that.
Wow. All right, Jazakallah Raheel Sahib. Speaking with you was very inspirational, and I hope that our audience inspired and motivated too. What you shared was very moving and very practical. Jazakallah once again. And to our audience, Jazakallah for watching this episode, and inshallah we will see you again in the next episode of Inspire Talks. Until then, Allah Hafiz.